I think for me, the biggest hurdle from Severed to Notorious wasn't really the financial thing. It was, can we write the album we want to write? It was pretty frightening to think like, you know, this could be the last record I make, because I don't think I'd have anything else to do. Like, I love being in a band, I love playing music, I love touring. So I think to lose that was pretty scary for me, because I'd just have to go back to, you know, normal sort of day job, and like I can't stand that. I can't stand that structure of a life.
What is this greasy thing right here?
What do you mean? This is how I look when I get out of the shower, mate. Nice and bloody clean cut. Where's me? I need my headphones, brother.
When we were thinking about recording Notorious, we definitely knew at this stage we wanted to go in a different direction with our music. We didn't really enjoy playing the typical metalcore anymore. We wanted to try and come up with something different for us and, you know, for fans.
Names on the door! When you're writing a new record, I think the main obstacle is to get past the old energy of your record and come forward and do something new and creative with yourself.
I think Richie and Brett would definitely wanted to explore another side to music. They didn't want to just play fast the whole time, you know, like fast technical riffs and a breakdown, you know, 7 times through a song and a guitar solo. We wanted to move outside the box a little bit more and just break the mold that we had, you know, cemented ourselves in.
Look at that head.
We all wanted to write proper songs, like well-structured, big songs, big choruses, like big riffs and shit.
For the most part, we recorded demos in Richie's studio. He has one set up in his house, so I mean, we could get pretty much great quality sounding demos, you know, across the board. We can do everything we want.
I kind of just fucking threw it all together, you know, and all the boys were like emailing me all these different riffs, coming over, oh, check this out, I got this fucking cool riff. Nah, that's shit. Yes, that's fucking sick. That's also good. No, that sucks. And I was doing the same for myself, you know, and that's kind of how the riff system went down, and we just meshed it all together. I think everyone was really excited off that.
I like the stripped back vibe. I like to give the drums and the vocals a bigger chance to shine, and I felt we needed to take advantage of Richie's voice and the ability to write, you know, catchy choruses, because in both records previously we hadn't ever explored that side.
A lot of people really wanted to express themselves because it was a brand new band, like in one aspect, and then we still had something to stick to in the other aspect. It was a very weird mix, but we definitely wanted a lot of things to be quite different, and we wanted to try and put a very different spin on it.
I think the vibe for us was a lot happier and a lot better. We had this new outlook on who we were as musicians, and we had this kind of vision for where we wanted to take the new record. No. You made it shit so everyone hated it, so you wouldn't have to use it.
I think like the real goal in Notorious was like to put out a record that we all fucking loved, that like the type of record we all wanted to hear, instead of trying to fit into the scene, like please kids with having fucking 20 breakdowns a song.
I mean, we did have a focus, and that focus would change here and there. Like sometimes we'd feel like something a bit softer here, or something faster back and forth during the process of writing the album. But I think that's what gave the album depth and created a story throughout it, as opposed to just 12 tracks of the same song with different lyrics.
Focus on the eyes, mate.
The Farewell Australia tour was my mates and Dan, Dan joined halfway through that tour. It was our first tour in the band, and the original plan was to go to Europe.
We were planning on being overseas for around 6 months or something like that, because we knew we had a Europe tour, we had a UK tour, and we also had recording and stuff like that. So
at that point in time, we were expecting to be gone for up to 12 months. It was like a symbol for like the end of an era, I guess you could say, and then beginning of something new.
Kind of like a highlight of the farewell tour was like playing North Queensland with the boys in the Amity Affliction.
Just a bunch of awesome guys, pretty much. We did a North Queensland run with them. It was just before they fucked the Reaper tour.
All the members in this band, we already loved that band. So going on tour with Amity was just like, fuck yes, like we are fucking going on tour with someone sick.
Both bands really got along with each other, and I think some of those guys saw something in Buried in Verona, and thank God they did, really, because I mean they helped us out a lot.
I think there is like a sort of nurturing element that a lot of larger bands have, and we were just very grateful that the Amity Affliction liked what we did.
It was like one of those little kicks of energy. It's like, holy shit, like that was a sick tour. We got to go fucking record this record now.
We got fucking our palace. Bitch. Motherfucking you. We got London yesterday, and we're sort of jet lagged. Now we're gonna go see some heaps go sites, hold hands and stuff. Face down! Can't lift my head, I'm drowning! Face down! Slower, suffocating! Face down!
Europe was fucking something real different to me. That was like, it was more of like a tour / like life experience for us, like, well, for me personally. I'd never really travelled much, only been overseas a few times. It was cool to go over with a bunch of mates and fucking like doing what we love, playing shows and shit.
It's an eye opener. It's scary. It's shit scary at first because you don't know what the kids are gonna be like. You don't know where the fuck you are all the time, and it's a scary thing, but it's very, very exciting at the same time.
We had no idea what to expect. We were just giddy little kids excited to be overseas on our own, just driving through strange countries, and we did expect probably the worst, but we got a great reaction.
Not a lot of people knew us in Europe at that time. We had maybe 30 or 40 kids that knew us, but those 30 or 40 kids seemed to be absolutely loving it, and having people from a different country who speaks a different language sing along with you is probably one of the best times I've had in Buried in Verona.
It was weird to see like kids who don't speak English singing your words to you, and coming up to you after shows and fucking just being stoked that you finally came to the city.
I remember just looking around to all the the rest of the guys while we were playing some, cities and stuff, just going like, how the fuck do they know that? Like, how do they? It was just mind blowing.
They're very honest. They're definitely very honest. I mean, I think I remember one guy coming up to me and he goes, "Oh, I think it was in Austria or something like that," and he goes, "Oh, you are very good. You're better on videos, I think, on YouTube, but you were still good. It was still good." And I was like, "Thank you, man." You just don't know what to say. It's just like a big culture shock, and that's what I love. I love traveling and always wanted to travel, and I'm just lucky enough I get to do it in this band.
The band we're touring with, Verona, they're from Canada. They'd been to Europe. I think this is their second headline tour through Europe.
We didn't know what to expect when we went on that, because I mean, Verona are renowned as a straight edge band.
Yes!
We were like, oh, I don't know how we're gonna get along with them, because we all drink.
Good shit right here, son. Some fucking gin juice, son, with fucking cock chops, son.
Is it you?
We'd never met any of the guys from As Enemies Arise, but it turned out they just smoked heaps of weed most of the time and drank as well, so we were just like stuck in the middle.
To be honest, in the end, we all did things together and it all worked out fine.
They're all great musos. We had so much fun on the whole tour. Some crazy shit went down, and
That early in, we were all so stoked to be on tour, and so we would just like write ourselves off every night.
Yeah. I got so many days.
Well, at the end of the European tour, we were off to do our own UK leg by ourselves, and we started to run into like some financial trouble at that point, because the tour had cost us a lot more than we had expected.
We found out from the dude who was running the tour that he had something booked and then cancelled it and then decided to put it back on fucking heaps late notice. So there was shit, fucking pretty much no promo. Promoters were bailing on us with guarantees and shit.
So we decided to pull it on that tour, and we asked our booking agent over there about the next tour and who that was with and what was going on with it. And he said there was no next tour. So we found out he was basically lying to us the whole time.
We knew we had to be in Sweden to record the record in February, but this was the start of like end of December. Like, what are we even going to do for the next month?
We had no income. Obviously, we're overseas by ourselves. So yeah, it was a bit of a heap shit surprise, but it works out for the best in the end.
We stayed on this island called Marstrand over there. It's like this big volcanic rock island.
It was a holiday island, like for summer, and it was height of winter, so it was the cheapest place we could find.
It was stormy, freezing cold, -20, fucking blizzards, crazy weather.
We're all Sydney guys, like we've never experienced like weather like that before in our life. And I mean, it was ridiculous. Like we lived, it was like this little fishing village with nothing around, you know, middle of winter and summer. Apparently it's really nice, but here, you know, there was nothing. There was like one hotel, one like pizza shop, and then our little shoebox of a house. And I mean, I'm not even kidding when I say like shoebox. I mean, we had front door, hallway, kitchen, rooms off to the side, and 2 bathrooms. And we lived in that place for 8 weeks, I think.
6 or 7 shit dudes crammed into this tiny little house. Everyone's just losing their fucking minds.
Surf's up, dude! Charge it! Yeah! Richie!
Once you're confined to a space like that, you fucking lose your mind. It is just fucking mind-boggling how bored you can be. And go to new depths of being bored. Like going to the pits of being bored is just psychotic.
Do you want the carpet pizza? Does anybody want the carpet pizza? Does anybody want the carpet pizza?
We were legit, like, you seen people like crazy? Like, we were crazy. We were making slingshots out of, like, workout bands.
What are you doing? I'm gonna make a catapult.
Jack him up! Jack him up, boys! That is sick.
The shit we did and thought was funny, like looking back on footage and stuff. Like, I know you can see in our eyes in the footage, we're not there. But, like, we're just different people just trying to get by in this retarded nut house. But it was a good experience.
There was like a point where we just threw an egg at each other until one of us dropped it, and then we had to lick it off the ground.
Got very drunk as often as we could, just to try and ease it. There's a lot of nudity, a lot of strange games that we invented. In our headspaces, in this environment, like, there was just nothing else we could really do to keep ourselves entertained, I guess. We're all too broke.
We decided to go back to Sweden to record the new record, I guess because we were comfortable with the guys, the producers that were doing the last record.
So what are you doing first?
This is my brother, Luke.
Hello, brother.
How are you?
I think it was a natural thing for us to go back there, just because of the relationship we had with the guys, with Frederick and Henrik.
Just the whole process, the way they do things, we enjoyed. Like, it was comfortable, wasn't that much stress involved, and they just get it done with a really good end result.
Are you ready to be about, to be born, to be a rock cock?
Yeah.
Chris tracking drums was actually really fast. He got most of it done, I think, in a day and a half. They're fairly simple drums, I guess, but that was his style. He just wanted to be the backbone, solid. I think he did that very well.
Frederick and Henrik, they were this fucking unstoppable, heavy production team, you know. They helped us through a lot of changes through the music and all that sort of shit. Frederick's constantly in this psychopathic mood where he'll just fucking pull his weird faces, make these weird noises. When you're doing something serious and you it's like a serious thing. If you're tracking guitars, like he'll just stare at you and just like start doing all these fucking weird faces and try and put you off.
Fuck! Hellre det än att kyssa dig i ansiktet.
Helvete!
Hellre det än att kyssa dig i ansiktet. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Yeah, the songs changed hugely when we went into the studio. I can listen back to some of the early demos we have of the songs and I was just like, how did that change? Like, I mean, what happened? Like, we would write extra riffs, we would have to write extra verse parts, and they would completely rework the structure of the song. And they were like, where's your verse? Where's your chorus?
You should be like, no, in the chorus.
Hanky is very more reserved and he's very chilled with everything. He's like, oh, do it again. It sounds like shit, but do it again. You know, he's very, very kind of daint the way he is.
Give him a kiss, mate. Just give him a kiss. Give him a little kiss. Give him a little kiss. Just a little one.
He's gonna get sick.
Just a little one.
Gotta sing.
What about on the cheek?
No.
Just to show that you love him, but you don't want to be too forward.
What about
He used to touch me like that, Hanky. He used to. We're having this talk this morning. He doesn't love me anymore.
Before the incident.
I used to wake up with him staring at me.
Touch my tranquilo.
We walked into these two guys that share the same fucking humor as us. Like it's like there's not much of a contrast between the Swedish humor and the Australian humor. It's very, very like on the same page. I guess that was a highlight for me, just experiencing them as people.
What are you on, Rich?
Just tracking some of the lead parts for guitars.
Ready for your close up?
No.
Usually when you're tracking guitars, you do them a left side and a right side, so two of everything. But we decided to try quad tracking guitars, which just to make a really broad, washy sort of feel.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
And left side, take one.
The only problem with that is you need to play it almost exactly the same every single time, and getting four like almost identical takes, it just takes a long time really to get through it.
The Gothenburg sound, I guess, what they all talk about, I don't know, it's just a big, fat, you know, kind of even a bit dirty sound that I think worked well with both records that we did there because, you know, it sounds massive, it sounds, you know, how we want it to sound. I think if we had to go on to like some, you know, a person who does a more clear metalcore sound, I think it would, you know, would have lost a bit of its edge. So that sort of came into the decision as well. Like we didn't want to be the full-on typical thing, you know. We wanted that bit of a, you know, bit of an edgy sound.
Sweet.
I had never been in that type of recording situation before in front of people who have recorded massive bands and been responsible for fucking selling hundreds of thousands of records, if not millions.
How fucking good was my tuning?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you did it good while we did it, eh? Ah, fuck yeah! It was intimidating but fucking exciting going in and tracking in front of them. And it was just like a sick process, and they're really, really fucking good people. Couldn't say a bad word about them. You know, like the other boys had been to them for Saturday Night Service, so they knew what to expect. But I was coming into a whole fucking different fucking environment that I wasn't used to. It was definitely out of my comfort zone, but definitely became very comfortable really fast, which made that whole process really enjoyable.
My favourite track would probably have to be Lionheart. It's a soft song. It was like I downloaded the whole fucking song in a night in my head, and bang, I just recorded it out, and I didn't want to show the guys because it was like, holy fuck, this is way personal for me. The demo I had of it was really soft. It wasn't as rocky. Yeah, it just briefly touches on my old man and the shit that my mum went through with him, and what I got dragged through as a kid, and all the shit that I've seen. And it just, I guess it kind of bottlenecked for me creatively. And there's always a giving point when you bottle something, whether you say it verbally or you put it down on music or whatever you do. It's always going to apex and push out. So I guess that's what I pushed out from over the years of having all that sort of weird shit going on in your life. On a personal level, I think that's one of my main achievements from that process, is just getting out a lot of emotion, because it's hard for a guy. It's hard for a fucking, a 27-year-old guy to breathe emotion onto a song.
I believe in you, it's never too late. I mean this with every breath I take.
For me personally, like, if this record failed horribly, this was going to be my last, experience. So I think a lot of my lyrics and inspiration came from basically, the fear of that and the hope that it did work and stuff like that. Like, I'd put everything into it. This is going to sound tacky as, but like, I had no regrets on the whole process of being in a band and doing what I have done, you know what I mean? If it all ended there, fair enough. I tried my best. So most of mine was, about hope and the struggle that it has taken to get there.
Here's a pair of headphones.
We don't expect the world to pay favors. We knew this life held sacrifice. No longer leading the life we once had.
4 years for me was just basically no one's going to help you along the way. If you want to do what you want to do, it's going to be off your own back.
No regret.
I mean, I know every band goes through their ups and downs and stuff, but sometimes it feels like there's a shitload more downs than ups. Don't rely on anything else happening apart from what you do. Hopefully that takes you to where you want to be. I guess if I didn't have music and I didn't have a band, like, I don't know what I'd do. It would be trying to fill this massive gap.
Sometimes I'm just holding on to all the good times that we spent. I never quite knew what they meant.
I think it came from Chris putting, he got a drum skin made that said Notorious B.I.V. on the kit, just as a play on words of Notorious B.I.G. And then, I don't know, that kept getting pushed. And then it was the thought that we might call it Notorious B.I.V. and then we just cut it down just to Notorious, because it kind of did describe what we wanted to do in a way, I guess. Like, we wanted to make something that we'd be known for.
I thought that was a pretty cool indication and a big summarise of the genre that we're in and what that record was about. An average 50-year-old woman is going to walk into a fucking record store, pick up that and go, no, you know what I mean? Like, or like little fucking, teeny bopper dudes are going to pick that up and go, no, that sucks, that's too heavy or whatever. And that's cool. I think that's cool, capturing that, and it's just a really cool thing, and it summarised our band a lot as well.
From my point of view, it's just a bit of a piss take. We wanted something that's going to catch your eye and catch your ear when you hear it. I think we definitely achieved that, but if anyone was to say that we're serious, no shit taking kind of dudes, like, they're wrong. Everyone that knows us knows, we're, fairly easygoing kind of dudes.
Hey guys, Brett from Verona and Verona.
Hi, I'm Richie from Verona and Verona.
We are here in Sweden. We just got signed to Unified. We're super excited about joining their family. They're an amazing company and they're doing some amazing things with amazing bands.
I'm not sure when we actually found out. Whenever it was, I think our manager Matt Leos called us and said, they're interested and they're ready to go with contracts. And we were just so overjoyed. Finding out that you know, someone was ready to support you and sort of help you along the way was an amazing feeling.
Dear Verona and Verona, you'll never be signed, ever. Regards, Unified.
After playing with the Affliction, I think Aaron got along with us quite well, and he liked our stuff, and he kind of told Unified to look at us, from what I understand, and they came up and listened to a bunch of demos. And
Richie, get out of here!
we weren't sure if we were definitely signing with them or if like it was a sure thing, but we kind of got the feeling from them that they were quite interested and that this was something that was going to go ahead.
Yeah, and it was just a big exciting thing while we were away. It's like, holy fuck, we're getting signed. And yeah, that was it. That was just like done. It was, fuck, we're signed. You know, what do we do now?
Well, I guess they just gave us a scope of what they wanted to provide in their promo package or whatever you want to call it. We got to sort of the chance to run with a few of our own ideas, and I guess they're not as conventional as other bands would do it. One of the album teaser videos was one of our awkward looking really good friends, you know, dancing in a leotard. You see his dick the whole time pretty much.
We decided to portray ourselves in the way we like to be portrayed, which is just fun-loving idiots, just doing what we want. So we tried to copy the intro to Bold and the Beautiful. There was a lot of haste because we wanted to get this album out as soon as possible. So there was a lot of behind-the-scenes marketing stuff to do and promotional things, and like basically gearing up the new album with promotion. And a lot of that responsibility fell on me because that is more of my expertise, and that's kind of the role I take. One of the roles I take in the band.
Videos are very much Nate's forte, but that's what he did as a job, you know, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of that. But he handles all of our film, you know, like everything in the past till present.
My job, apart from Barry Verona, is as a cinematographer, and that's a lot of the reason why I'm in Barry Verona, because I started doing music videos for them because they're friends, and just got a lot closer from doing a lot of video work and started following them around, shooting things.
We don't expect the world to pay favors.
4 Years was our first music video for Notorious. It's a lot about stripping off layers of ourselves and throwing things away until we come down to the bare minimum, which is what we need to get by. And that was kind of something we wanted to incorporate into a music video for that song. So we're inside of this box and it's just slowly getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and then we just throw ourselves away and there's nothing left, and all that's left is Scott Howe, our album cover. Like, this is all that really matters was this album for us, and I suppose that was our little quirky way of saying that on screen.
For that respect, like that's how a lot of them have come about, you know, we'd like brainstorm an idea and then try and put it into practice for as, you know, as cheap as you can, and that's what we've done. We always work to like a tight budget on film clips, and you know, as you've seen, if you've seen both of those clips, like, I mean, I think we did a really good job.
It's kind of all building up. It's like, oh fuck, is this shit gonna flop? Everyone's gonna hate it. Oh my god, we suck. Or it could do good things. As you do, you get nervous and all the rest of it. But yeah, when the record got put out, it seemed like everyone was just fucking like digging the album. You know what I mean? It's just such a different shock.
I think 90% positive. 90% of the people got the fact that it was time for us to change and enjoyed the change, I guess, like, you know, respected it and liked it. And I think we gained a lot of new fans as well, because it was clear in the music that we'd written something we love and enjoy, but there was always going to be hate. Every album's going to get hate.
Some people didn't get it. Some people, it took a long time for them to grow onto them as well. Once it did get released, it did really well in my opinion. Like, I'm so fucking proud of that record. Like, I don't care what anyone says. It's a great record. It debuted number 20 on the ARIA charts, in Australian charts. That's pretty cool to have an actual charting CD in a minority's fucking minority. You know what I mean? Like, we're a heavy band. It's like, it doesn't happen regularly, you know, so we must have sold a fair few CDs.
It was ridiculous. I mean, none of us ever expected to even be in the ARIA charts, but then to get nominated for an award as well is something that, I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I would ever get the chance to attend something like that. And we did. We went to the Aria brunch and stuff like that, and you know, met and rubbed shoulders with, like, the biggest Aussie artists and stuff. So I mean, that was awesome just to see a bunch of tattooed dudes just rolling around in there. Sick.
I guess the first couple of shows we did in Australia were like, I was nervous about them. We booked kind of big venues, so I was like, fucking hell, like if we don't get kids to these venues, then we're gonna look like chumps.
We sort of didn't know what to expect with the new album being so different and how people would take it. And so, you know, like 3 or 4 weeks after an album's released, you're like, you know, are people going to know it? Are people going to like it? Are they going to hate it? So that tour was heaps scary for us to embark on, really. But from the very first show of Notorious, it was like, we've done something right here. Finally, we've, you know, these people are like connecting with us in a way that has never ever happened before for Buried in Verona.
That became extremely apparent when we started the Notorious tour, and the shows were fucking 3-4 times as big as they'd ever been, and just seeing how much positivity, as well as the fucking negativity of fucking people being like, you fucking sold out, you aren't fucking metal anymore, where's the breakdowns and shit like that. The fucking good heavily outweighed the bad.
I felt like it needed to be done.
We were playing with one of our favourite bands, The Amity Affliction, and the crowds were incredible. These rooms were packed out and people were going nuts for Amity Affliction, but the thing that freaked us out the most was they were also going pretty damn crazy for us. Like, we did not expect the kind of reaction we got. At some shows, our reaction was like, you know, not that far off theirs, and they're juggernauts compared to us.
Our second single was Forget What You Know. It's one of my favourite songs just because of the tempo, and it's a lot more upbeat. It's pretty heavy too. We did a video for that. We did everything ourselves for that video. Nate was a massive part of that. He set up all the shots, all the cameras, all the fire, all the lights, all the props and everything like that. We just tried to make it look like a cool fucking stage setup for that. And we put that video out on just before we went over to the States. Drummers, fucking hell, my god, have we struggled with fucking drummers. Like, circumstances happen and they just fucking come in and they go, dude, I have to bail, I'm so sorry, blah, blah.
We were playing one of our last shows before America, and I mean, there's not much to say about it. Like, there was a altercation and Chris left, and luckily Shane answered my phone call at 12 o'clock at night while we were drunk at a bar and said, yes, I'll come to Tasmania tomorrow, even though he had no idea what the songs were. And he absolutely saved our ass. He was perfect. And we got to know him so well, so quickly, that we just couldn't have it any other way. We had to have him in the band.
Hey, we're on tour. We made it to the States finally.
Our first US tour was a pretty big deal for us because, I mean, that's kind of like the holy grail for heavy music. If you're a big headliner in the States, then you're a big headliner anywhere in the world. And we're really excited to get there.
Oh, you got it! Did you see that shit? Yeah, fuck yeah!
I was fucking shit scared. I was panicking for that because we never toured there before. Didn't know how the fucking shows were going to go down.
Where are you, Newman? New York City.
It's a cold bitch.
That was another eye-opener too, because there was fucking kids there that knew our songs. And there was kids coming up to us saying like, dude, I've been listening to your band from the start. I love all these songs. I like, love all your albums and shit. And it's just like, dude, like, you're on the other side of the world. I know there's the internet and all that sort of shit, but coming from America, that place that I've looked to be at since I was a little kid, like, you know, it's such a fucking awesome feeling, man. It really is.
Holy shit! Even when I was writing Notorious, I didn't expect it to have this much of a positive effect on you. I guess you know, I'm humbled by it. I think, you know, I don't take a lot for granted. It's surreal now to know that you've got fans of your music in the US, you got fans of your music in Europe, but like other places that, you know, we get messages from like Israel and from like Colombia and places like that, and I never ever thought that I would write something and be part of something that affected so many people. And I mean, that's the biggest compliment ever, you know? I don't even know how to describe it. Hey, I'm just, wow, thank you.
Living and breathing a band daily and doing nothing but that, it's a very strange thing to put everything inside of you. It's literally like, you know, what I'd imagine having a child is like. You don't have anything else that is like as important. This is it. And it's a shared vision, which is quite strange for everyone. You have a band of brothers that all feel the same way about the same thing. I've definitely, from this process, just gotten the best friends of my life, and like they'll be my brothers until the day I die.
I came in not knowing these guys, and now I know them in and out, inside and out, fucking like a fucking palm in my hand. And I guess that comes with spending fucking every day with people, especially when we did our first leg in Europe and recording, you know, 6 months with each other. You know everything about someone, you know all their fucking faults, and you know all the fucking good in them. And, you know, with these boys, there is a lot of good in them.
If I had have quit music and stuck to a 9-to-5 job, and yeah, I'd have all the money in the world and have a nice car and stuff like that, but I wouldn't have any memories. You look around and your friends are there with you, sharing everything. You can't buy it. No normal, you know, everyday guy can just pay for an experience like that.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah, it does.
We decided to record a demo in between, like, you know, in this small space before we start recording the next album, just to give people a little taste of what the next album could be like. You never know.
New album, anything goes. There's no restrictions on anything. If someone brings in any form of music that is good and has a cool vibe, has a feeling to it, if it's good enough, it's going to make the record.
I should do that tonight, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Did you tune?
No. Mate. I personally want to do like a fucking really heavy raw album and get back to our roots. From me and Brett anyway, that's what we wanted to do, because when we were kids we used to listen to super heavy stuff, and I think in the core of us is that raw element of heaviness, I guess. So it's something that we got to look forward to with writing a new record.
The way we see it is, this is our life. Like, you know, we're doing everything we can to fucking do what we love rather than fucking work doing what you hate.
We've got plenty of overseas tours coming up with some of our favourite bands, festivals with, you know, tens of thousands of people, like just shit I never thought would happen. We're just going to tour our asses off, try and write the best record we can fucking write, and start it all over again after that.